Now I'm going to talk about one of the interview questions what they asked me. Okay. The I attended interview for the architect level. That time they asked me, so how do you implement a SOX compliance for your project? They said me about I have around 400K identities are available. Okay. 400K identities are there. How do you implement and all? They asked me. So sometimes if they ask me how many identities are there, if they ask me, you can say 100K identities like that you have to say. So first of all, what is a SOX? SOX is a security operation center. So what is a security operational means it is a centralized control. In the centralized control, it is going to ensure that how the users going to get access, how the access is going to remove for the users. So periodically, every week, sorry, quarterly, they are going to be generated audit report. They will submit to the concern regularity authorities. Normally, the SOX compliance and all financial organizations they are going to be this SOX compliance is going to be implemented whichever the organizations having for the financial organizations is going to follow this compliance. So whenever you implement the SOX compliance, security, availability, and process integrity, confidentiality, and privacy is required. That is the main key concerns we need to be focused. Security, availability. Normally, we have for this thing what I called we have a CA, correct? CA, confidentiality, integrity, availability. So from there you can remember these remaining things. One is confidentiality is there, security is there. Okay. Normally, any company, this is the primary object of the any security. CA is a primary object of the any security. So here they what they're saying is security is there. Okay, if you want to remember, I'm trying to find out any shortcut which you can say because many technical nowadays what they are looking, they wanted to talk some of the keywords and hyphen words. So though you have more technical knowledge, okay, I have asked one person. He is not having a proper knowledge, but he is getting a lot of he's cracking a lot of interviews. I asked him how you are cracking. He was saying that I use a difficult terminology, sir. That was he told me. So CA is how do you remember means you can remember that CA is the basic object of the basic fundamentals. Any security is follows this CA. So in the CA we have a confidentiality, integrity is there. So remaining things is confidentiality is there, integrity is there, availability. The three is already covered. So you only remember the security, processing integrity, privacy. Three words you remember, extra three words. Okay. And this is everywhere you have to follow the CA and confidentiality, integrity, availability. You remember that. Remember that. Rest of the things, process integrity, privacy, try to recollect it multiple times. Obviously, you can say that. So somebody asked me, how do you implement? Then you can say this thing and all. So in fact, they asked me this question. That time I was not able to explain properly. Then immediately they cut my interview also. So that is the reason I thought, okay, if I tell you this useful information, somebody will get benefit out of it. So, so this is the things, and you can remember this CA triad and remaining three words process integrity. At least if you say three words, that is they will satisfy. Okay, process integrity and privacy, you need to remember more. So key IAM objects. Any IAM project, what is the objectives if you see? Basically, SailPoint is meant for controlling and monitoring user access. So suppose one person has requested access. Okay, we are not going to provide access easily. It will go for the manager approval. Once manager is approved, sometimes it will go for the application owner. Once he is approved, then only we are going to provide the access. So any access is going to go for the manager approval after that. That is the reason it is say that control is there, monitor user access. Monitor user access means so any financial organizations, all critical application accesses are going to reviewed periodically. I want to talk more on this thing. So normally IAM projects implement joiner, labor more process implementation is going to be take any at least 1 or 2 months they are going to implement it for a new project. I was working for one company. We migrated from the SailPoint IAQ to Savient within 1.5 month. So, but compliance is comes as a governance module. They have taken years together. So that is what IAM project is control and monitoring user access and demonstrate the governance with evidence. So evidence means suppose you said this particular set of the users they have access in the one particular application means that time what they create a certifications campaigns whatever they got it that information the evidences they need to submit to the concerned regulatory authorities and also they are going to review the accesses. They are going to review the user access also. Like this is the certification I generated. This is the options I generated. All the options they are going to keep it in the evidence document. So always this SOX compliance. If somebody asks you, okay, SOX compliance, you can say that it comes in the strategic planning. When I was working for the support, my managers used to use, hey, let's do it tactical planning or strategic planning, operational planning. They used to use. I felt very, oh, something different word they used it. But I was reading one of the book called, I was preparing for an interview, CACP. There I found, okay, this strategic planning and okay, strategic planning and the tactical planning. And one more is it operational planning. There are three words I learned over there. Okay. Strategic planning and strategic planning. Strategic planning spelling I wrote. Strategic planning. Strategic planning. So this planning, strategic planning always, okay, this is a long-term plan. So this is a fairly stable. This plan is going to be long-term planning. It is going to be 5 years planning. And it defines organization's security purpose. Planning organization security purpose it is going to define. And it helps to understand security functions aligned to the goals and missions and objectives of the organizations. If you take any organization, that particular organization's goals, gani, okay, missions, objectives, these are the things it is going to be considered. Normally, as I said, it is going to be having a 5 years planning. And periodically, periodically, this is going to be reviewed this plan automatically. They are going to be manually, they are going to update the new things. Everything is comes, then they are going to be modified. And in the strategic planning, okay, whenever you are implementing strategic planning, they are going to consider identities from where they are going to get it. like Active Directory is coming, Workday it is coming, which all the applications they are coming, that they are going to be considered. In this next thing is, so what are the user base they are going to consider? Like any company, if you take any company, you will be having a different kind of employees. Like employees will be there, and contractors will be there, and next vendors will be there, and contractors, vendors is there, and internship persons is there. So the partners will be there, different kind of employees will be there. So whether they need to be considered or not in this, they are going to be in this, whether they need to consider in the SAX compliance, that the users they need to consider or not, they are going to be defined. And and basically it identity systems in the which are the identity systems they need to be considered for the reviewing of the user accesses. So if you can take any, if you take and take, you can, if you wanted to highlight, you can say that, hey, always SAX compliance, we are going to be review the certifications. You can say simply this thing, what you can say, user accesses, is going to be reviewed by the quarterly or annually. But I wanted to highlight one thing. Suppose you have 100 applications, you will not consider all applications for the certification. So, which are the applications is related to the critical applications only they are going to consider for SAX compliance. You may ask me, can you give me an example? Suppose you have a LLM system is there, which provides training for the users. So that system they are going to log in, they will learn the different subjects. That kind of applications, no government will ask them whether this person has completed so and so AWS training or QA training. There, nobody will ask. So that's the reason. In that time, they are going to review non-SAX compliance applications. They are not going to be skip or they are not going to be considered non-compliance applications. So why? Because the certification is a very expensive operation. Like once you have to generate a certifications that will go to the manager. Manager has to review that access, and sometimes the manager cannot take decision whether this person is required this access or not. That time we need to talk to the users. Based on the user's confirmation only, they can provide access. Sometimes by mistakenly they provide removed access, means user has to review, request access once again. It is very, very difficult responsibility. Okay. And normally access certifications will be there, and access policies will be there. In the SOX compliance, access policies also there. So when I say policies, two kind of policies will be there. Detective policy and preventive SOD policies. So what is separation of duties? Detective means, so after providing access, you are going to generate a certifications. You are going to see that whether that particular, after providing access, you are going to verify that this particular user having this entitlement or role, whether this particular person is need to be whether this particular can have that kind of role or not, entitlement or not. If you verified, that is called a detective approach. I want to tell you easy way. Suppose, suppose what I wanted to say, suppose you have access profiles. Okay. They are going to see that users access profiles and see that this particular access profile user should have this entitlement or not. They are going to verify it. And if they feel that this particular need to have this entitlement, then only they will be providing it. If not, they are going to remove that particular entitlement for the user. That is called a detective approach. Preventive means when you are requesting for access, that time itself, if they verified it, that is called a preventive SOD policy, SOD violation. You may ask me, give me one example. So I want to give an example. So suppose, okay, if you ask me what is okay, preventive means, suppose somebody, okay, you are the house owner. Your children has come and asking you key for your iron safe. Then you will ask him why you want to do key for the iron safe where you kept the gold and all. So that time you are going to verify that preventive approach. Sometimes, okay, suppose you have a Netflix access. Your children using it, okay, but you are given a username password, but you forgot. Okay, after some time you verified that we children having that Netflix account, he is using it. So once you identify it, you are going to remove that particular password or change the password for the Netflix. So it's going to be detective approach. Once you provide access, after that you are verifying it. And the next one is always always okay. And we need to automate the joiner level process also. So somebody joined the organization. That time we are going to verify that based on the job title, we are going to provide a particular set of the roles and roles to the users. One role will be having IT role, business role will be having IT roles. Based on the user profile or title or something, you are going to provide set of the access for the same thing. If somebody left the organization, you are going to remove particular users roles for the user. Next is okay, policy and real time compliance and it's. So we are going to, as I already covered the policy, I'm not going to explain much more. So how do you implement SOD policies? We realize SOD policies, how do you implement? So whenever you wanted to implement SOX compliance, we need to first to find out which are the applications I'm considering for the, okay, I'm considering for what he called implementation. Which are the applications I am considering for the SOX compliance? So, so suppose any company, suppose I work for one company that is having a 500 applications. So we won't consider 500 applications for the SOX compliance audit review. They will give me around hardly 50 applications saying that these all the applications are considered as a SOX compliance. Only this compliance only considered it. And whenever they are implementing this that particular applications for the SOX compliance, they'll say that I implement a RBAC implementation or else attribute ABAC, attribute based authentication. So and configure the policy engine, define the SOD policies, and the same way implement the workflows and certifications also. Integrate integrate the audit policies. Okay, integrate means sometimes when you are requesting access, they will ensure that you need to enter mandatory values. That is also compliance ending. That is also part of the success. Whatever you entered the details, that is going to be tracked in the system. And if the manager are providing evidence to the concerned regulator, that means they will provide this evidence also, saying that whenever somebody is requesting for this access, he will ensure that the user is going to provide this access comments, and also somebody is approving it, somebody is rejecting it, they will ensure that that guy is going to provide comments. when I was not reading CACP book, I used to think that okay, it is a product behavior. That is the reason they are doing it. But after reading this CAC book, I noticed that okay, we are implementing this is as part of the framework, SOX compliance or some other compliance approach. We are doing it. So so always, whenever in the compliance dashboard or reports, what they are going to find it at whenever. So if you are talking any okay, if you are talking some kind of okay senior jobs, then you need to use the technical word. This kind of technical words. So by end of the compliance, what I need to ensure, I need to ensure orphan accounts are there and okay, dormant accounts are there. What is orphan accounts? So orphan account means that any identity is not okay. Any identities is not having particular authorized systems. That is called as orphan accounts. Any account that does not have authorized system identity, that accounts is called as orphan accounts. And dormant account means if any account is not used quite long time, that account is called as a dormant account. Sometimes some people will come to the US or else different countries. They will not use their what you call bank accounts quite long time. If they didn't use a bank account quite long time, that time they keep that account as a dormant account. So next is the policy violations. In the policy violation also, when you are submitting audit complaints, sometimes many of the us submit the compliance reports to the SOC compliance evidence we used to submit to the government. So I want to more talk about this. So I was there in support that time. Sometimes my security leads used to ask me, provide me this policy evidence, and I'll just give me a screenshot, and I'll used to ask me. There they are checking that policies. Okay, this particular user having this role means he should not having these roles and all we configured. That is what we are ensuring that all the evidence they keep it in one document. They submit this evidence to the concerned regulatory authorities. And also campaign status. We are submitting that application owner certification or manager certification, entitlement certification, role member certification. We used to do it. Right? These certification evidences they need to submit to the governance bodies. So otherwise, what happened now? If you fail to provide these evidences, means federal related SOX compliance related evidence, if you do not provide, if you do not submit to them, means the government will not agree for them to do the business uh, in the I mean like in the particular company, they will not allow to do their business. So that is the reason if you observe when you are doing, okay, when you are doing some of the projects, that time they'll make a note on nice. Hey, you need to ensure that that evidence report need to go. Otherwise, they will apply some penalty. Okay, and sometimes if you delay to the submit the reports also, okay, somebody might be working in the support that time. If you delay to submit these reports, means senior management or top management they will come and ask you, hey, why you are delaying these things and all. Many of us may not be aware of what is this and all. This is that major intention. So this is what, and you can say that in interview, how do you implement a SOX compliance? If somebody asks you, you can say that a SOX compliance is a I always ensure that to implement this certifications, policies, audit, okay, auditing points, end of these things. Okay, I'll ensure that if I by implementing this. SOX compliance. I'll ensure that I less okay, organized accounts, dormant accounts. Okay, ensure that policies not be users, ensure that less policy violations will be there for the users. And those are the points. Compliance should be submitted. Okay, compliance evidence, many evidences. I'll make it as quick as possible to the management. That is what you can say that. Okay, these were one of the interview questions I'll be sharing. Okay, more and more interview questions. If you like this video, like it and share your comments. If you have any interview questions, also please comment in the comment section. I'll ensure that that question will I'll ensure to provide answer for that question. Thank you so much for watching.